Um, it was a hostage situation. Well, first it was two guys were wanted for murder, and they traced the phone call to our pier. They caught the first guy, and he had bullets that fell out of his pocket. So they were wanted for murder. So now those bullets were evidence. Which, looking back now, we could have just should have taken pictures of those bullets and transported them. But my sergeant walked up to me and this other female officer, and there was a bunch of other male officers. But he looked at her and I, and he said, "Oh, you two, watch the bullets, and then you, to all the other guys, come with me." And so her and I just looked at each other, going, "What the hell? Like this is ridiculous." So we're standing there. Next thing you know, my old partner comes up and says, "Hey, Christina, do you want to help me cover the back?" And I go, "Yeah, hold on." So I look and I find another officer who, he wouldn't mind standing there watching the bullets. And I said, "Hey, can you watch the bullets?" He's like, "Sure." So I, relieve my post and got someone to relieve it. Took off with my partner. And as we're running in the back of the arcade, we see a commotion. Well, what we didn't realize was the officers were retreating because the guy had a hostage. We never saw that. And so I never saw the suspect at all. And so next thing you know, I hear bullets and film whizzing by me, literally whizzing by my head. I'm like, where the hell is this guy? And we're running through the crowd towards whatever, towards the arcade, not knowing where this guy is at. So there's nowhere to get cover because it was an open area. And at that point, I feel something hit my arm. And my partner's like, "Christina, you've been hit." I'm like, "I'm okay." He's like, "No." I thought it was just a graze. He goes, "No, Christina, your arm is just hanging because both bones were broken because they had broken that bone and that bone." So it literally was just hanging. And again, adrenaline definitely helped. And I was like, "No, I'm okay." He's like, "No, we gotta get out of here." So at that point, as we're trying to get to the police car because there was no ambulance or fire department that can go onto the pier because it's active shooter, we end up running towards the sergeant's police car with the same sergeant who told me to watch the bullets. And he's like, "What? I told you to watch the bullets." I'm like, "I know. I don't, I don't need to get out of it, but I have someone else that relieved me. So, it's all good." So at that point, the guy's still shooting. He shot two other officers and ended up going into the arcade, holding people hostage there for hours as a standoff. And so I was rushed to the emergency in the police car while the other two officers were rushed in an ambulance because later on they were shot. And next thing you know, is I'm walking into the hospital and they didn't know we were coming because our dispatchers couldn't radio it in because they're so busy. So as I'm walking into UCLA, and that drive seemed like forever from Santa Monica to UCLA. Um, And I didn't realize how much blood I had lost. The female officer who was there, she's like, "Christina, you lost so much blood in that car. Like, literally, I can't believe you don't remember blood." And I blocked it out, I guess. And as I'm walking to the front door of the hospital, my cousin's walking out. She's a candy striper. And I said, "God, you look really pale." And next thing I know is I pass out. It wasn't her, it was me. So I wake up, now they've given me morphine and everything. And yeah, I just remember waking up and then all of a sudden going back to sleep. And next thing you know, I'm waking up from the surgery, which was like 15-hour surgery. And they had me face down. So I guess my face was totally swollen. So when I got up, everyone thought I got shot in the face because my face was a reaction from the anesthesia and from being face down. And then at the same time, my mom told me, "Well, they're about to take your arm." And I told them to save it. And when I woke up again, I couldn't open my hand. I couldn't use it. And so at that point, I'm like, "Okay, well, it is what it is." And I almost got an infection. In fact, another thing, I almost lost my arm again because while I was at the hospital, I started seeing this like discoloring on my shoulder, and it was hurting so bad 'cause my arm was hanging the whole time on this contraption. And I asked the nurse, I'm like, "Hey, something's going on with my arm. It really hurts." And they're like, "No, no, you're fine." I'm like, "No, can I get the doctor?" And the doctor came and he goes, "Oh yeah, you're getting gangrene. No, we got to give you antibiotics." So I was so pissed. I was like, "Thank you, God, I said something." But it just, you have to be your own advocate, and no matter what it is. But yes,